This is how I'm able to make a full-time day trader's income trading less than 1 hour a day. Let me explain to you in this video why sometimes less is more, especially when it comes down to trading. Everybody is very excited when they first get into day trading, and you notice that you kind of get stuck looking at the charts all day long. You might get started right in New York Open at 9:30 a.m. and before you know it, it's about to be the market close at 4 p.m. EST. And you might be wondering to yourself, where did all my time go? Fell in love looking at the charts, taking over 50 trades in a day, and before I know it, day's over. I had no work done. I didn't go to the gym. I haven't even eaten. What am I doing? And that's a mistake that I used to make myself. As a new trader, you get really excited on wanting to get straight into making money, right? And we all kind of fall for it to a certain degree on that get rich quick scheme lifestyle, right? We all want to start making money as soon as possible, but we have to understand that it's not always realistic. We have to remember what our job is as day traders. As day traders, we really want to be free. We want to make money, as much money as possible in a short amount of time, and then get out and get off the charts. If you trade live with me every single day, sometimes you notice that I only need to trade for 1 hour. Catch one really solid trade a day and kind of be done for the day, go enjoy my day, and preserve what not a lot of people talk about is your mental capital. You don't just have as a day trader your dollar, your actual account value, your pro-forma account value, your drawdown. You also have something we call, or I like to call, is mental capital. It's really hard to stay focused 8 hours a day. You guys might know this from going to school or being at a job, a really high intense job. And that's what day trading is. We're processing thousands of data, of information every single second, thinking what is the possible best outcome. And we do have something called mental fatigue and mental strength that we do have to preserve. So that's why I tell people that all time in trading is less is more. If you're trading less higher quality setups, in the long term, you're gonna make more money than trading a bunch of little, maybe somewhat half-assed decent setups. The reason is because you can go heavier when you have your really solid setups. Some of the best traders I met tend to trade maybe only a handful times a week, even maybe a couple times a month, which sounds absurd because you're like, hey, I'm a day trader. I'm supposed to be always looking in the charts, always looking for trades. But in reality is that our A-plus setups do not happen literally every single day. It's impossible. You might be getting B setups every day, but A-plus setups, the ones where you gotta wanna bet heavy on, right? Because the statistics prove that more than likely that's the best trade you're gonna have. So it's best to kind of double down. It's almost like when you have in blackjack a really good hand that you can split or you can double down for your next card, because you know statistically that double down can be worth a lot versus having two mediocre hands. And this is the same way that day trading is. But now, how do we establish what times we need to trade and what are some of the best setups to trade so we can focus on only A-plus setups? Don't worry, I'll dive into the charts and tell you guys exactly what are the best times that I think are as day traders are going to provide you the most high quality setups. Let's quickly go over where I think are the best times to trade. And the best time for me to trade happens to be between 9:30 a.m. EST and about 10:30 a.m. EST. That 1 hour tends to have the most opportunities for me. Now, does that mean that every single 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. EST will have a great opportunity? No, but it tends to be based on the day where I trade, based on my schedule, based on where I live, and everything in between. That happens to be the best time for me to look at the charts. So I'm not going to be looking at the charts, for example, this time right here between 11 to 12, because more than likely it's not going to be a solid setup. And you know, when you look at the charts, often you can just look at them and be like, hey, which times of the day tends to be the most volatility, the most spikes up and down? Because as a day trader, we do not want to trade when the market's looking flat like this. We need opportunities, we need volatility, we need big price movements so we can make a big bag, right? We want to look for when the market is having big swings, just like this. Now, we don't want to hold through news, but we do want to look for volatility in the markets, because a flat market is extremely hard to trade, and you're going to waste a lot of mental capital. And you're going to find that a lot of the best times to trade are going to be 8 a.m. EST to 8:30. Then they're going to be 9:30 a.m. EST to around 10:30 a.m. EST, which is kind of the New York Open macro. And then you're going to have another great time to trade usually around 1 p.m. EST. And lastly, 3 p.m. EST, which is what we know around power hour. So a lot of those times, you know, that's where you get the most volatility, you get a pickup of volume and the market to move a good amount. Now, there's also Asia session, London sessions. Those are going to tend to have on the indices like S and Q, a little bit slower volatility almost every single day. Now, there is some people that like to trade at midnight and 4 a.m. from my experience, it's not some trades or some setups I really trade, because living on EST time and New York time zone, I always only focused on the New York time zone. But an exercise you can do to focus on finding volatility is look at where you had big spikes up and down, and see if you can find a correlation on on the spikes moving up and down, and seeing if it lines up with a certain time. And then once you find the right time, that's where you should be focusing your trading, so you can maximize your time when trading. Secondly, what you want to look for is always on the larger time frame. Best setups always tend to happen on a larger time frame. For example, a trade I took today was, what did we have? We had this liquidity here in the 1 hour that got taken out, right? So I start on that 1 hour time frame, and 1 hour is going to kind of help you avoid a lot of the choppiness, a lot of the nothingness, and you can set alerts, you can wait for the trade to play out. And this trade, even if you were taking a breakout trade or a reversal type of trade, it would have been important, because you see this high being a lot of liquidity there that needs to be either taken out or broken and have a little breakout above. Then I move my, once I get an alert, let's say I'm not watching the charts. In this case, I was watching the charts, but let's say I'm not watching the charts, then maybe I'll get an alert. I'll get an alert, and then I'll hop on the charts to maximize the time. Now I'll look on the smaller time frame to kind of analyze what's going on from the larger time frames, right? We call that a top-down analysis. And then I look for a point of entry. A point of entry, or a POI, is pretty much the point on the smaller time frames, which can be both a 1 minute or a 5 minute, or some people like the 2 minute, whatever. It depends on you where you find an entry point from your larger time frame analysis. And that's how time frames need to be used. They always need to be used together, right? It's not one time frame is better than the other. They just do different things, and you gotta use them together. For example, this being that 9:31, 9:32 push, right, that fits between my micro time. I'm gonna draw a fib and kind of looking, if I'm gonna be bearish today, was at a 1 hour liquidity grab, right? Where am I more than likely gonna retrace to before continuing lower, right? And where is my best entry? Where is my optimized entry, as well as the best place to have the minimum risk? So, right, so I'm gonna have my liquidity here that already got taken out. If it gets hit again, more than likely that trade is not gonna work out, and that's where my entry is gonna be. So I can maximize my entry and then look for a major area to take profits. So now this area was down here with a tier pocket, a little bit of liquidity for value gap with a couple of little things. Another one would have been down here, this other level, and then eventually, as you guys can see, this trade ended up playing out very, very well. But right, let's say I'm trading between my 9:30 to 10:30, right, which will be from here to right about right here. And then I see there's a huge move that happened. What is the likelihood of another huge move happening somewhat soon? In this case, there kind of was a nice move up, but then you kind of went sideways for a long time until that 3 p.m. macro, as I mentioned to you guys before. But that was that I could have avoided a lot of this kind of choppiness, even though there's probably was a couple decent moves in here. I could have all this choppiness and focus came back when it came at 3 p.m. looking for this entry for another move higher. Right, and this can be said just about any day. You're gonna find that 9:30 to 10, as you guys can see, 10:30 a big move down, then straight back out to big move up. You have the most amount of volatility, and then you have a lot of sideways action, and then you have again another strong move up and a strong move down. This is why you want to maximize your time. And as traders, one of our number one sins is that over trading. We just overtrade a little bit too much, and one of the best ways to not overtrade is to make sure that we're focused on the best times to trade. Optimize the best time to trade, just like we optimize the best entries, best stop loss, and the best take profit levels. If we can master all those 4 things, you're gonna make hundreds of millions in day trading game. I promise you. But it's all about having that mental discipline to be okay with stepping away from the charts and understand that, hey, you got into trading not just for money, but also for freedom. If you want to trade live with me every single day, make sure you hit links up below. And as always, peace.